Fuck. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just kidding. Alright. We'll just let you know. It was a fucking pain learning this because there's 3 different guitars I'm be teaching in this video. But I think I could be able to finish this song in less videos than usual, honestly, because like I'm gonna be teaching like a third of the song right now. Anyways, I'm gonna just get to Slash first. I'm gonna play Slash's shit first. So, first obviously the fucking famous ass intro. Oh yeah, also by the way, for Slash you're gonna be on the neck pickup always. You're just, at least for this video, you're just never gonna leave it. And then I didn't actually play the whole thing. But anyways, after that it was like anyways, and then of course there's Izzy's part. Izzy mainly just fucks around with like the D, C, and G chord. And then the acoustic guitar. And the acoustic guitar also just mainly fucks around with like. But anyways, so I'm gonna just teach the fucking intro first. So yeah, this thing. It's pretty fucking easy. If you don't already know, it's basically just a pattern on the D chord, but starting on the D string and on the 12th fret. This is a power chord. So just have your I don't use my pinky for this intro, and I've never seen Slash use it when he plays live, or like on the videos I've seen of him playing live. So I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna have your index finger on the 12th fret of the D string, and then you're gonna have your middle finger on the 14th fret of the G string, and you're gonna have your ring finger on the 15th fret of the B string. You're gonna want to keep it around there. You just keep your fingers like that. But anyways, so the pattern goes like, it's kind of the same thing. The only thing that changes is the root note. But anyway, so first it's gonna start off by hitting the 12th fret on the D, and then you're gonna hit the 15th fret on the B, and then you're gonna hit the 14th fret on the G, and then I'm gonna use my index finger to come back and hit the 12th fret on the G. So, and then I'm going to use my ring finger to hit the 15 on the high E. And I'm going to use my middle finger to hit the 14 on the G. And then I'm going to use my ring finger to hit the 14 on the high E. Back to the 14 on the G. So from the beginning we have and then you're going to do that again. So you do that twice, and then you're going to, instead of going like, then you're going to go like this. which is just I use my middle finger to hit the 14th fret on the D string, and then I do literally the exact same thing, you know, with every other note. So from the beginning we have, and then 14 on the D, and then you can do 14 again, but I'll slow it down for beginners. And then I'm going to use my index finger to hit the 12th fret on the G, and then you're going to do the same pattern. And then hit the 12 on the G again. And then you're going to come back and hit the 12 on the D. You know, like the way we did it at the very beginning. And then that's going to be the end of one sequence. So like in one sequence, you hit this D thing at the beginning and then at the end. So like, see, that was the one thing, like how you see how I did it twice. Anyways, so yeah, you're gonna do that 3 times actually. So I'm just gonna, fuck it. You're just gonna do that 3 times, but there are gonna be times where you're gonna play this D 4 times in a row, like, because that was the end, and then it's gonna begin again on the D. So you're gonna be playing that 12th fret on the D 4 times in a row sometimes. But anyways, at the end, so after you do this 3 times, then you're gonna do this little thing that goes like, which is pretty simple. So after you hit the 12th fret on the G, after you do that root note, the second time for the third time, then you're gonna start. Which is pretty simple. So after you hit that 14 on the G, you're then gonna hit 12 on the high E. Then you're gonna go back to 14 on the G. Then you're gonna hit 15 on the B. Then you're gonna go back to 14 on the G. So, and then you're gonna go back to the 12 on the high E, to the G, the 14 on the G, and then to 14 on the high E, back to 14 on the G, then to 15 on the high E, to 14 on the G, back to 14 on the high E, to 14 on the G, to 12 on the high E, to 14 on the G, and then back to the fucking, what is that, 15 on the B. So but anyways, so yeah, that's it. I'll play the ending again. And then after that, see, like when you're on the top neck pickup and you got your volume all the way up, then you're gonna want to tone your volume down so you get an acoustic sound. I don't have my amp right now, so I do have it, I just don't have it on, so I can't show you right now because it's like 5 in the morning right now. Anyways, so then you're gonna turn it down because the next thing is just gonna be all acoustic. You're not gonna really use your, I mean, you'll put the distortion up eventually, but not right now. Anyways, so slash parts, it actually goes like, it starts here. It's just that when you hit this chord, is when you're finishing the solo. Like, that's also the same time when it's Slash's part that plays that. So I know it's his chord. It's just, it's not actually possible for you to play both. Slash just, what he does when he plays this live, he just finishes this, and then he moves on to this one. But anyways, I'm going to just teach you this one first. So this, I don't really know what you would call this chord, but you're just going to bar the 10th fret of the B and high E string with your index finger, and then you're going to have your middle finger on the 11th fret of the G, and then you're going to have your ring finger on the 12th fret of the D, and just strum that whole chord. And then you're going to move the chord up, exact same shape, but it's going to be on the 6 of the B in high E. I mean, not 6, 8 of the B in high E. And then 9 on the G, 10 on the D. So from the beginning, we're just going to strum it once, let it ring, and then strum it again, let it ring. But then this time we're going to do this lead, which is pretty simple. So we're going to pull off from 10 to 8 on the high E string, and then hit 8 on the B. Also, I'm sorry if you guys can hear that rain, but anyways, so. And then you're gonna come up here and hit kind of a G shape. But I just got my pinky on the high E string, the 3rd fret of the high E, and then my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B. And then you're only gonna hit the open D and the open G, and just strum that kind of, don't hit the low E or A string. But anyways, yeah, and then you're just gonna strum this G chord, and then you're gonna do this pattern, which is pretty simple. So you're just gonna hit 3 on the high E, then 3 on the B, then 0 on the G, back to 3 on the high E, and then 3 on the B, back to 0 on the G. So when you hit that 3 on the high E the second time, though, let it ring a little bit, kind of like how I'm doing it, like that. And then you're just gonna strum a D chord, and I think there's some effect that kind of makes it a little wavy in the actual song, but I don't really know what the fuck it is. But you're just gonna strum the D chord. If you don't know what it is, it's 0 on the D, and then 2nd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the high E. Anyways, so I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna just start getting into fucking Izzy's part now. So for the fucking intro, when Slash is going like, the first time Izzy doesn't join is when he starts the second time. That's when Izzy joins in with the D chord. So you're just gonna start strumming the D chord muted, and then you're gonna eventually get louder, like. Kind of like that. So just mute and then eventually get louder. But then that final strum, because like when you're muting, you're only going to do the D power chord shape with 0 on the D, and then 2nd fret of the G, and 3rd fret of the B. That's it. But when you do that last final strum, you're going to include that 2nd fret on the high E string. So like this. This is pretty simple. So yeah, after you do, then you're going to do this pattern. Kind of fucked up, but anyways, so it's pretty simple. So, and then yeah, after you do that, then you're just gonna have that. You're just gonna hold that D power chord. That D chord shape And then I have my pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and I'm gonna pull off to the 2nd fret of the high E string. And then you're gonna hit the 3rd fret of the B string. So, like that. And then just hit the 0 on the high E string. Like that. So from the beginning we got because after we hit that 0 on the high E, that right there, then we're gonna hit 3 on the B, and then 2 on the G, and 0 on the D. We just go up the chord, so like that. And then after that, that's when we start strumming, or we start picking down the C chord shape. That's just 3 on the A, 2 on the D, 0 on the G, 1 on the B. So from the beginning we got anyways, once we pick down the C chord shape, then we're going to do this, which is pretty simple. So you're just going to pull off from 3 to 1 on the B string, and then you're going to hit 0 on the G, and then hit 1 on the B. And then after that, you're going to hit a G power chord, which is just, 3 on the low E, 5 on the A, 5 on the D. And then after you hit it once, you're going to lift your finger, you're going to like raise your fingers. You're going to hit down, up, and then strum it again. So like this. And that's kind of like all Izzy does for the intro. So I'll play the whole thing really fast. Crap. And then I forgot, yeah. And then you also come back to the D. And then you kind of do this again. But when you start to release, then you're going to do this pattern, which is just, 3 on the high E, pull off to 2, then hit 3 on the B, back to 2 on the high E string. Just like how I did it. Anyways, so yeah, that's all we got for fucking Izzy. I'll keep going afterwards. I'm going to now show you the part for the acoustic. So the acoustic ends once slash goes. That's when the acoustic stops, and the acoustic doesn't come back until the solo, like. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that too much. But anyways, the acoustic's actually pretty simple. So at the beginning, when like, the other rhythm guitars start coming in, you're just going to strum the D chord, and then the C chord, but this different C chord. So it's going to be 3 on the A, 2 on the D, 0 on the G, and then 3 on the B, and 0 on the high E. So yeah, and then a G chord, back to a D chord. And then after that, then it's going to kick in when all the other instruments kick in, like the drums, it's like. And then that's when the acoustic ends. And that's honestly pretty simple. So you're just gonna strum the D chord twice, and then when you kind of hear me stop, like I'm just muting in between. So like you hit the D chord twice, down up, mute, and then hit the D chord 3 more times. And you want to keep that rhythm for every chord. So, and it's going to be the same. So, that's the only difference is at the end. So at the end we're going to go, which is just I'm strumming the D chord, but instead of letting my ring finger be on the 2nd fret of the high E string, I mean not my ring finger, my middle finger, my pinky is going to come in and hit the 3rd fret of the high E string. Mute, and then do a regular chord or D chord. So take your pinky off, so it's the 2nd fret on the high E string. So yeah, like that. So I'll do it slow so you guys can follow along. And then you're gonna move along to the C chord shape. Crap. And at the end though, you kind of do this pattern where it's like 3, 2, 0, and then 3 on the B. So that's 3, 2, 0 on the high A string, and then 3 on the B string. But I don't really know, like so. And then you do this fucking C chord shape. Fuck me Christ. Alright. You just gotta strum it through. So I got my C shape like this, the one I taught you earlier, with your 3rd fret on the B, and then you just move your pinky down to the 3rd on the high A, and then just kind of try and strum and pick them at the same time. Kind of like that. So from the beginning we got and then we go to a G. And then the only difference is at the end we just strum it 4 times. So and then back to a D chord. Oh yeah, that's another difference is we go shit like that. So which is pretty easy. So at that last strum is just the D chord, but with my pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and then you're just taking it off. Anyway, so I'll play the whole thing kind of slow. So pretty simple. Anyways, so that's kind of it for the acoustic guitar part. I didn't like go too hard into like how to play it because I figure most of you don't care. But anyways, so I think I taught the intro and then I taught up to like, and then yeah, so I guess I should start teaching the verses now for guitar, or for like Slash and Izzy. So Slash's part, it goes like this. Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna teach it in the next video because it's already 25 minutes long.